If I could have your attention, please, for just a minute. Please continue eating. We're going to have the invocation, and then you can go back to your eating and so forth, and we'll begin the program shortly thereafter. I want to call Suzette Davis, who is a member of the tree board, to give our invocation.
Thank you so much. Thank you for pausing just a moment to give God thanks for this day. If you will, bow your heads. Gracious God, thank you for this hour, this day, and these, your humble servants, who have gathered in your name for this special occasion. Make each of us an instrument of your grace and your peace. Weave into us a community, bringing forth your power of relationships, visions, goals, and direction. Bless us, Lord, and give us the courage to stand together, to work together, to play together, and pray together. Lead us to better know you and order our steps as we make this journey in this life. Thank you to all who have labored to put this wonderful program together. Let us remember our common goals, to love each other and keep this earth safe and beautiful for those who are here and those who will come after us. And now, Heavenly Father, be present with us always. Dwell within our hearts. Allow your light and your spirit to guide us, our thoughts, our actions, and therefore, dear God, our destiny. These and all requests, all supplications, we ask in your most holy name. Amen.
Good afternoon. I want to welcome everyone to the Community Appearance Commission and Tree Board Awards for 2012. So that we can get the program moving, please continue to eat. We're going to introduce our speaker. My name is Barbara Perry, and I'm a member of the Appearance Commission, and we can't tell you how proud we are to see this great crowd of all these people, as Suzette said earlier, who have contributed so much to our community. And so with no more talking from me, because Greg says he has about an hour's talk, so I need to get on with it. When Lynn Raker, who is our support staff from the city, and I met to try to talk about what our program would be like this year, we do this every 2 years in conjunction with the tree board. We came up, because it was a leap year, with the theme Leap of Faith. And excuse me. One of the things, everything we do practically with the Appearance Commission is a leap of faith. We never know if it's going to work, if we'll get approval, if we'll get funds. So when we were talking about having a speaker, I wondered if we could have someone who chose to come to Salisbury, not for a job, not because of their family, but because they chose us, this community, for what it offered, because they could work wherever they lived. And so we made a list, and as I told Greg, he was about the 20th on the list, but everybody turned me down but Greg. He was our first one, and we know to take people to lunch and to, ooh and ah over them, and he was very gracious, I might say, in agreeing to do this. They've been here 4 years, and he works as a network solutions architect from his office in the plaza, which is just 3 blocks from where he lives in the downtown. He serves on the board of directors for downtown Salisbury and chairs the Transportation and Parking Committee. So without further ado, I will introduce Greg Shields.
Did you get that one off? Can you guys? Oh, good, it's working. Excellent. Well, Barbara, thank you. Mayor Woodson, thanks for having me. I'm a bit of a pacer, so I'm going to do a little of that while we walk around. My name again is Greg Shields. Barbara and Lynn did ask me to do this. My wife, Kristen, and I moved to Salisbury. It was actually 6.5 years ago.
Oh, goodness. We have 4 on there.
What?
Sorry.
4? I probably gave you bad information. I've got a couple slides I want to share with you guys, and the title of the slide, could that sound any more like scholastic and scholarly and boring if it had to? It almost sounds pejorative to me, and I've been identified as that, and I'll get to that a little bit later in my presentation. But my wife, Kristen, and I, we lived in Loudoun County, Virginia, which is a suburb of Washington, D.C., and it was the fastest growing county in the United States for a couple years, and it's still probably one of the top 2 or 3. It was crazy. Living up there was, it was so different than living in Salisbury. We lived in a neighborhood called Belmont Green, and Belmont Green was a little bit unique in Loudoun County in that the architecture of Belmont Green was something that not just the houses, but the whole layout of the neighborhood was something that's referred to as traditional neighborhood design. So what they tried to do was they had the houses, as you can see, very close to the street. There were alleys behind the houses with detached garages, front porches on the houses. It was an awful lot like Salisbury. So they tried to recreate it, and they did a pretty good job. You'll notice that there's front porches on the houses. A woman who was a friend of mine with whom I used to work said that you could trace every societal ill in the United States to the architectural demise of the front porch. I think there's something to that. When you have a front porch and you sit on it, you get to know your neighbors, you see who's walking up and down your street. So I think she may have been onto something. So that was our house in Belmont Green, and I was born in Vienna, Virginia, not too far from where we were living when we lived there, and everything was great. We had no problems with what we were doing. We had friends there. Our jobs were, by Washington, D.C. standards, a not horrible commute. Mine I could get to between about 30 and 40 minutes in the morning. Kristen, 45 to an hour, depending on traffic. One of the things that was tough is that Loudoun County was growing so fast that they built a new elementary school like every 17 seconds or something. So our son Thatcher bounced around like a pinball from elementary school to elementary school. But again, everything was going great. I just assumed that, I was born in Vienna, Virginia. I would live there my entire life in Northern Virginia. Never even heard of Salisbury, North Carolina. Then I made one of those life-changing decisions that you don't realize what a life-changing decision it is until after you've made it. I bought a Wi-Fi router. And this is life-changing because up to that time, if I was watching something on television that my wife hated, like professional football or The Family Guy, she would go find something else to do somewhere else in the house. But now, she could surf the internet from her laptop right next to me on the couch. And she liked to surf real estate. That's what she enjoyed. Kristen was actually born in North Carolina, grew up in the Army. Her dad was a career Army officer, moved all over the country. And one of the things that Kristen always loved was the big old houses on Colonel's Row. And they look very much like at a lot of these bases, like the houses we have in the West Square in some of our historic districts. Big, stately, older homes. And she was surfing real estate on this thing all the time. And she stumbled across the website for the Historic Salisbury Foundation and saw this house and said, wouldn't it be fun if we could buy this, restore it over time, and then we're ready to retire, we can move there. And I had visions of trying to run a restoration project from 350 miles away. And kind of sounded to me like sticking a shrimp fork in my eye. It sounded like a horrible proposition. And thankfully, somebody else did it, and fantastic job on that. The Historic Salisbury Foundation and the History Channel did an amazing job restoring that house. But I don't put the kibosh on a lot of things in our marriage, but I said, I'm not doing that. So she said, well, what if we thought about buying one that's ready to move in now and we just relocate it? And I said, we can't do that. We live in Northern Virginia, our jobs are here, but we started talking about it, and all of my customers are mostly in New York City, and some in Chicago, some in Boston. Kristen's main client is in Mobile, Alabama, so we started thinking, you know what, we're kind of remote to our customers anyway, so what does it really matter where we live? And so we spoke to our managers, and they said, we don't have a problem with it, that would be fine. So we started looking around at houses that we could possibly move into now, and we found that one. on South Fulton Street, 400 block. Previous owners, Gina Foster Owen, I imagine most everyone in this room knows who they are. And we said, well, let's go down and take a look at that one. So we called Wallace Realty, talked to Martha Hawkins, and made arrangements for the kids to stay with the in-laws, made a reservation at Turn of the Century Bed and Breakfast, jumped in the car and drove south. And Kristen said on the way, you know what, I've been to Salisbury before. And I said, really? And she said, yeah. Ann Hoffman, some of you may know, and her husband Mark live in Salisbury, and Kristen and Ann were best friends in high school. And Kristen came down for Ann and Mark's wedding. The reception was at Lee Piper's house. So she had actually been in the West Square before and seen some of these homes. And so we kind of got excited that we might know our way around and got in touch with Ann and Mark and managed to see Mark when we were down. Ann was out of town that weekend. But we came down and looked at the house. And when we pulled into town, we came down 29 all the way from Northern Virginia, came down 29, hit 85, got off on exit 76 and saw that. And I said, how do I get back on the highway? I'm not doing this. You got to remember, I'd come from Loudoun County, Virginia. Everything was brand new. What are these like fake tree with wire things on them? All the utilities were underground. There was a sign ordinance for everything. Everything was brand new landscaping. So this is the first thing I saw when I pulled into town. But my wife, again, I don't get to put the kibosh on much. She forced me to keep driving. We got into the downtown, and my blood pressure went down a little bit and calmed down. And we pulled into the West Square, drove around, checked out the West Square a little bit, met the realtor, checked out the Thomas Jerome house, which is the house on South Fulton Street we ended up buying, and had a lovely weekend. It was so different than anything I had ever experienced before. We ran into Gary Thornburg, Lord Salisbury, 3 separate times over the weekend. We had dinner at La Cava, and I used to be in the restaurant business. I ran an Italian restaurant, and one of my favorite things is this Tuscan dessert wine called Vinsanto. And I asked the waitress after our dinner, which was a great dinner, do you all have Vinsanto? And Gianni, the proprietor, was walking by, and he kind of made that, like when Bugs Bunny's stopping. Somebody wants Vinsanto, and he went running over, grabbed a bottle, sat down with us. We had dinner. You all were so amazingly welcoming to us when we moved here. And we kind of talked about it, and we made a leap of faith. And we up and moved. We just came. We sold our house in Northern Virginia. Thankfully, that was at the height of the market. It was not hard to do. It was very easy. We were able to, I think we put it on the market on a Thursday for sale by owner in the Washington Post, and I had a bidding war on Saturday. So we were very fortunate with that. We were able to do it. But we just jumped into it with both feet, and we came down. And when I got down here, one of the things that I did was joined a bunch of guys who have breakfast every Saturday morning at the Checkered Flag Barbecue. This breakfast has been going on for 30 some odd years. Edward, how long? Is that something like that? The breakfast started because Foster Owen and Don Sayers and George Klutz decided to restore houses in the West Square. And the 3 of them and another fella who's no longer with us named Matt Flint would meet for breakfast and say, all right, who needs the bandsaw today? Who needs the pickup truck? Who needs help? And they would kind of map out what was on the docket for the weekend for helping each other, taking on these projects of these big old houses in this falling apart neighborhood. And this breakfast has just kind of stuck. And there have been probably, 30 people in and out coming through. There's a cast of about 10 regulars. But Foster took me to breakfast, and I've been going. And one of the fellows who's a regular attendee is a guy named Charlie Floyd. Some of you might know he lives out in Barber Junction. And Charlie is an expert on real estate. He writes a textbook, actually, about real estate. And his book is called The Principles of Real Estate. So I guess if you're going to college and you're studying real estate, you can take a class with Charlie's textbook and learn how to sell a house in 3 days. But in his book, one of the principles he had is people must live close to where they work. I brought a prop. That's the book. And for the ninth edition, he actually made a breakout box that said that that principle no longer applies, and he's calling it the rise of the location-neutral urban migrant. So that's what Kristen and I have kind of become, I guess, are location-neutral urban migrants. It almost sounds pejorative, but he promises me that it's not. But it really just kind of covers what our experience has been. Moving to Salisbury, taking that leap of faith. We commute 5 minutes to work, unless we ride our bicycles, and then it's more like 10. You don't spend all of your life in your car getting from place A to place B. Your pulse slows down. You can afford to do things that you couldn't afford to do in Northern Virginia. You have time to spend with friends, to spend with family. One of the things that you also have time for, which it seemed no one had time for in Northern Virginia, is time to get involved in your community. And when I was in high school, I went to a boarding school on Long Island, and it was on the North Shore, out on the eastern part of the island, kind of a village area. It wasn't the crowded part closer to the city. And all the trash cans in the village square had that quote by Abraham Lincoln on it, and it's always stuck with me. Because I am proud of being from Salisbury, and I try to remember that and be involved in my community, and that's one of the reasons that I have enjoyed serving on the DSI board. And so much of what downtown Salisbury has done, dovetails with what we're talking about today, about helping folks who want to do the hard work to improve the appearance of our community make it happen. And so I just wanted to show real quick some examples of some of the things that have happened just in the short time that I've been in Salisbury. We've had an economy that's been tough since 2008. And there are so many folks who have taken on these projects in this time and totally changed the way our downtown looks. You've got the Crest Building, Pottery 101. This just makes me happy every single time I drive through the downtown, and I particularly like it at night, lit up. The critters. Look at the facade, that metal that was on there. All of that is gone, and the original brick was uncovered underneath and restored. Walser Technology Group. This is exciting to me. A young man who has got an entrepreneurial spirit, has set up shop downtown, is being successful, and paid to bring a building back to some of its original glory. Simply good. Wow, amazing. What a transformation. Again, another one where a facade is gone, literary book post, all that green metal gone, and we have the original brick facade back. All of these are work that people have done to change the look of our downtown and improve it. And a bunch more that I wish I had pictures of. Bangkok downtown, Charles Steinman. What a transformation that's been. And the Norval Theater. So I guess my point is you look at all the work that all these people are doing to continue to make our city of Salisbury more attractive, improve the appearance of it. And so many of you folks here who are going to be receiving recognition today have done the same thing. So you're to be commended. Thank you for making where I live a nicer place. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you all. I hope you enjoyed your lunch, and I'll turn it over to the next speaker. Thank you. You're welcome. How'd I do? 14 minutes. Thank you.
It's on. Yes, it's on. Okay. We have no more batteries, so I have to cut it on and off. That's why I have to pause a minute. See, we had to use some money to do the luncheon today. Yes. I'd like now to introduce Rodney Queen, Chairman of the Tree Board, who will present the awards for the Tree Board.
Thank you, Barbara. Do we have a slide of our tree board members? Thank you. I'm Rodney Queen, Chairman. Johnny Seyfert. If you're here today with the tree board, please stand up as I call your name. Johnny Seyfert, Vice Chairman. Suzette Davis, Linda Jones, Rick Lewis, Greta Saunders, and Victor Wallace. We're proud to have all of them a member of our board. Our first award, the Tree Steward Award, the City of Salisbury GIS Division for the Salisbury Tree Inventory Phase 1. When the Salisbury Tree Board decided a tree inventory was needed, Catherine Clifton's GIS division was asked to accomplish this detailed inventory. Cat applied for a North Carolina Urban Forestry grant that would pay for this work, and we got it. She utilized summer GIS interns to do this work. Information like GPS, positioning, type of tree, condition, a picture of each tree, and room for other maintenance was documented. 2,759 trees were inventoried with a replacement value of $551,800. The GIS division will begin phase 2 in 2012. The green shows you the area that we have gotten surveyed. This is very important work that we're doing, mapping out all the trees in the city so we can streamline our maintenance programs and a lot of other assets that provides for us. I am pleased to give the Tree Steward Award to the City of Salisbury GIS Division. Accepting this award is Catherine Clifton, GIS Division Coordinator. Catherine, special thanks for the great work you've done. It's a major undertaking that you don't view on the surface. And of course, you have a Tree Preservation Award. St. Luke's Episcopal Church, Sarah Kellogg, with an extra large willow oak. Along 100 West Council Street in front of St. Luke's Episcopal Church is an extra large willow oak tree. Citizens are able to enjoy this extra large, beautiful specimen tree because of St. Luke's dedication to the tree's health and care. I'm pleased to give the Tree Preservation Award to St. Luke's Episcopal Church. Accepting this award is Sarah Kellogg. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. Tree Planting Award. St. John's Lutheran Church, former K-Town furniture lot, and we want to thank the churches for all that they're doing. St. John's has turned a parking lot and building into the heart of downtown into a green park area with the addition of 5 maple trees. They also had the foresight to save existing trees, adding to the beautification of this very visible area. I'm pleased to give the Tree Planting Award to St. John's Lutheran Church. Accepting this award is Bill Safert, Chairman of the Grounds Committee. Thank you, Ms. Perry.
Thank you, Rodney. Before we give the Community Appearance Commission awards, I would like to introduce the members of the commission, and if you're here, if you would stand up, I would appreciate it. Sandra Bory, Mimi Carlton, Suzanne Casey, John Cerny, Ramey Evans, Deborah Harris, Sue McHugh, Sean Myers, Francis Taylor, and Tom Wolpert. Thank y'all. Volunteer boards are only as good as the staffs who serve them, so I also want to give a great deal of thanks to Lynn Raker, who is our liaison with the city and is a landscape designer and in the city planning department, and Diana McGroby, who is the secretary assigned to us. We could not do the things we do without their help, and I want to thank you for that. I'll call Sue McHugh, the chairman of the Landscape of the Month Committee, and she will call out their names.
Thank you, Barbara. The Community Appearance Commission initiated the Landscape of the Month program as a way to recognize residential and commercial properties that do an exceptional job of maintaining the appearance of their landscapes. And I think we can all agree that every time you see one of these, it just makes such an impact on their local neighborhoods. This afternoon, we are recognizing those winners from spring 2010 through fall of 2011. If the winners would wait till I've read all the names, and if you would save your applause till then, and then the winners can stand up and be recognized. Thank you. The winners are the Rowan County ABC Board, Garth and Belinda Birdsey, Blanton Law Firm, Boston Retirement and Investment, James Bradshaw, Capri and Sean Brixey, Chick-fil-A, Courtyard Apartments, James Brookshire and Linda Peterson, Mr. and Mrs. Bill Carter, Eugene Franklin Curry, Virginia Gibson, the Holiday Inn, Frank and Lisa Justin, the Lazy Five Ranch Veterinarian Service, Dr. and Mrs. Bobby Lomax, Longhorn Steakhouse, Bill and Ann McCandless, Joseph Medlin and Tom Lynn, O'Charlie's Restaurant, Olive Garden Restaurant, Terry Osborne, Tim and Tricia Proper, Greg and Kristen Shields, St. John's Lutheran Church, Summit Developers, Whitley and Jordan, PA, Carol and AC Worthy, and Zaki's Restaurant. Please stand at your table and be recognized. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. I would like to have Deborah. No, that's not next. Yes, but I thought that was out of the place. Okay. Deborah Harris, if you come forward, she's going to give the the Holiday Decorations Award. I'm sorry, I lost my place.
Thank you. We would like to recognize at this time the winners of the 2010-2011 Holiday Storefront Decorations Awards. They are Bernhard Hardware, Kanish, The Blue Vine, Faze on Main, Gray Shores Trading Company, Grapevines and Designs, The Party Connection, Salisbury Wine Shop, Spring Robin, A Step in Time, Salisbury Square Antiques was the 2010 Best Overall Award, and Queen's Gifts was the 2011 Best Overall Awards. And you may stand at your table as we recognize you.
Thank you. Okay. 28 years ago, a handsome young man of great intellect and vision started the Appearance Commission. And today, 3 of those original members who were just out of their teens then are here today. Because we can't give our age, of course, Margaret Klotz, Edward Norville, and myself. And I know he hates publicity, but it was Jim Dunn. And I just wanted him to know that we are still following his vision, and we're still trying to do the best we can. So I want to thank you for this. He won't take me out to lunch for doing this, but I wanted to give him credit for what he started and for what has made this community a better place. I have a song that I carry around with me, the lyrics even on my iPod, and also written down, so when I get turned down for something or I don't get the grant or something, I always refer to this song. And I think it's for everyone here in small and big ways. You have made a great contribution. And it goes, the world won't get no better if we just let it be. We want to change things, just you and me. So I want to thank all of you. Even if you didn't win the big award tonight or this afternoon, you're all winners. So thank you. And we'll get to the awards now. Thank you. One of the things that we have done over the years is the Adopt a Street program. And sometimes it's hard to get people to do this work. And I want to thank the people who have helped us in the last 2 years on the Adopt a Street program. AME Zion Church, Eureka Masonic Lodge, number 4, J.C. Price, American Legion Post 107, Livingstone College students, Sisters of Essence Order of Eastern Stars. The New Horizon group from Rowan Helping Ministers, we asked them to come today, and all the others were invited because they not only clean Longstreet and keep it clean for twice a month, they also help the tree board plant 70 trees in the Park Avenue neighborhood. And I know that Kina is here. Right, if you would stand, and the people you brought with them, we want to thank you for that. It's a wonderful thing that you do, and we do. And as Lynn pointed out to me earlier when we were planning this, without their help planting these trees, it would have taken a lot longer than it did. So thank you very much for your participation. It's a great program at Rowan Helping Ministries, so thank you. We are going to now present the 2012 Building Awards nominees and recipients. We are grateful for these talented and creative jury members that reviewed the nominations and selected the awardees. And I will say that we've done this, at least Lynn and I have done this at least 3 times, and we do it every 2 years. I'm very proud to hear the comments of all of these judges. They're all from out of town, with exception this year. He lives out of town, but he works here. To hear what they say about our city and the area around it. So I'm very proud that I live here after I hear them. Matthew Burzik is a bicycle and pedestrian transportation planner for the city of Winston-Salem. Claudia Denep is a landscape designer and writer from Greensboro. Dave Gorham is executive director of National Sportscasters and Sports Writers Association. He works here and lives in Winston area. Melinda Smith is the chair of Uptown Lexington Design Committee and Historic Preservation Commission. And Jason Thiel, president of Downtown Winston-Salem Partnership. And we have, I know that you're here. Is there anyone else here from the judges? Well, you want to stand, Dave? We'll do you. These are very busy people. We really appreciate they gave us a whole Friday, and that's because that's what we do. We tour all the sites and for new construction. And as Greg pointed out, in the 2 years of some of the worst economic times in our history, there are people out there still working and still making things beautiful, building and adding on, and so we are very appreciative of that. Get to here. The first category is new construction. The nominees are S.E. Collins Engineering, Rowan Cabarrus Community College Building 400, Sheets, Sacred Heart Catholic Church and School, Salisbury Pediatric Dentistry and Family Dentistry, AMPA Medical Building, City of Salisbury Customer Service Center. The jury was challenged to decide between several deserving buildings, and they applauded the addition of LEED certified architecture in both the RCCC Building 400 and the city's Customer Service Center. In the end, they chose as the winner Sacred Heart Catholic Church and School, pointing out the scale of the 3 arched entries and the distinct banding of the building materials for the lower and upper floors. Accepting for Salisbury Sacred Heart Catholic Church and School is Father Benjamin Roberts. Not wanting to limit their deliberations, the jury added an award in the new construction category. Suggestions for naming this new award included the Above and Beyond Award, the Overcoming Adversity Award, but they settled on calling it the National Franchise Award. The inspiration for the award was, of course, the new Sheets station. In accepting that the national franchise is a fact of life, they applauded Sheets for doing an excellent job to meet and even exceed new requirements by the Salisbury Land Development Ordinance. The building addresses the street, uses quality materials, and features pedestrian amenities. Accepting for Sheets is Christine Langford. Thank you. In the category of addition renovations outside the downtown, nominees are Mambo Grill, and Habitat for Humanity Restore. The jury selected Habitat for Humanity Restore for the remarkable improvement it made to the existing building. They also noted the attractive landscaping, saying the improvement deserved a standing ovation. One juror remarked, "We can't deny the restore, but the food is better at the Mambo." So, not sure. It was a really good jury, I will say that. Excepting for Habitat for Humanity Restore or Coleman Emerson and Elizabeth Brady. The next award for downtown building renovation goes to Hardeman Building, Bangkok Downtown. The renovation and its restaurant, Bangkok Downtown, are beautiful. The work was meticulous and true to the building's historic character. The building becomes an essential anchor for the corner and helps set the desired tone as one enters the downtown. I will say this, the jury was blown away by the work that was done on this building and the before and after, as y'all can see there. Accepting the award for the Hardeman building renovation is Dr. Charles and Marna Steinman. The next category, adaptive reuse, credits the creative reuse of a building that a use not originally intended when the building was built. Winning this award is Piedmont Players, Inc. for the Norval Theater. The transformation of the building in appearance, use, and value to the community is priceless, and the effort undertaken by the community and major donors to make this a reality is an example for all cities. I might add that and I think that Councilman Miller brought this up at City Council, when Lynn and I went to the Main Street Awards last year, there was an audible gasp when it was shown, the before and after, in the auditorium, as he knows, was full. It was just an audible gasp because no one could believe in these economic times that this could be done, and that it was done by raising private funds. So accepting for the award for the Norval Theater are Edwin and Owen Norval. The next award is for downtown facade renovation, which includes structural changes and goes beyond painting and awnings. The nominees are Hogan's Alley Building, this is at the rear of Ennis Street, NSSA, an adjacent building, Fine Frame Gallery, Signs and Steins. The winner is Fine Frame Gallery. This renovation really shines, one juror stated. They have added second floor life by punching through the windows. The second story downtown renovations are the next frontier for downtowns. Juror Jason Thiel from Winston-Salem Partnership said, "This is what I would like to happen in my downtown." Accepting for Fine Frame Gallery is Bruce Wilson. I'm sorry. The award for downtown facade improvement, which is more about the building facelift, painting, awnings, and signage. The nominees are The Sweetest Thing, Phase on Main, OK Wigs, Stitching Post, Kanish and its Annex, 109 Art Gallery. The winner is Kanish and its Annex. One juror said Kanish is a visionary. They know what they have and they ran with it. They have improved a whole corner and not just the facade, and with it they have energized the street. Accepting for Kanish, Carla Wilson Coley. In the category of site improvements, Salisbury Parks and Recreation, for the Foyle Tatum Park, St. John's Lutheran Church for the former K-Town lot, Central City parking lot. After much debate, the jury chose the Central City parking lot, citing the improved appearance, pedestrian enhancements, all with additional parking. One juror stated it is a model for other cities to follow. Accepting for the Central City parking lot is Mayor Woodson. Last but not least are the nominees in the category of Best Signage. Signs are necessary wayfinding tools, but can either contribute or detract from the overall appearance of a development or the street they are on. We feel the nominated signs are not just functional, but they also complement the building or business they name. Mambo Grill, The Sweetest Thing, Integro Technologies, Kanish, Hinkle, and Railway Railwalk Arts District. The winner is the illustrative Railwalk Arts District for its illustrative sign system. You put that in there, didn't you? La la la. Testing my right. While it might not be considered a sign in the traditional sense, it says so much about what is in the space. Accepting for Railwalk is Marietta Smith. Pay for that, didn't you? Okay, we get to the special awards, and I want to say once more before we get to those how important it is that we want to thank all of you, whether you won or not, because you, as I said, you just can't imagine what it's like to be so proud of your city when you're with people from out of town who make all these comments, from the landscaping to the painting to the signs to whatever. So thank you all for your contribution. I now ask Margaret Klutz to come for the Neighborhood Improvement Award.
Thank you, Barbara. And if you would allow me just one moment of personal privilege. Barbara Perry, it's amazing. She was. And I'm sure she was going to get recognition at the end of this program, but she was a teenager when all this started. And Jim Dunn and I aged a little bit during that process, but Edward Norville didn't. And they've all, Edward and Barbara really, Barbara, you've just been determined and dedicated for so many years, so thank you. I'm here today, I'm proud to present the award to Brooklyn Square, South Square neighborhood. When the Appearance Commission's Neighborhood Leaders Alliance invited neighborhoods to apply for a one-day, one-block improvement project, the Brooklyn South Square neighborhood submitted the 300 block of South Shaver Street. The block was selected and planning began. This was the first time out of the gate for the commission on a work block project. It was truly a leap of faith going into it. It was scheduled to happen on October the 22nd, 2011, Make a Difference Day. The event could not have gone better. The weather was perfect, volunteers showed up in droves, but it was the neighborhood participation that allowed the project to soar. Blessed with talented carpenters, painters, building contractors, their dedication of talent and time made the project a remarkable success. I am pleased to give the Neighborhood Improvement Award to the Brooklyn South Square Neighborhood Association. And accepting this award is Ken Weaver, President of the Brooklyn South Square Neighborhood Association. And I understand Ken was a key contributor to the whole day.
It took the whole neighborhood to work on it, though.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We also have the minister of the church. Odessa, would you like to stand up, and any other members that are here from that neighborhood? Because and I see y'all, so you have to stand. I know who you are. Thank you much. Jim Dunn, you're next. He's going to give the James Dunn Award.
Thank you, Barbara. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here. The James A. Dunn Award is presented to an individual who's made exceptional contribution in the redevelopment of the downtown and improving its visual environment. It would be hard to find a more dedicated and selfless servant to this city than Bill Bergen. An accomplished architect, Bill has been the go-to person for design ideas in countless public and private projects, key downtown projects, from the redevelopment of Norman's and the Mayfield building to the old post office, now the county administration buildings, to the future Rowan Salisbury School administration building. Bill's creative skills with a drawing tool are only matched by his unique ability to find solutions for the most challenging of situations. Bill has served on the school board, United Way, Piedmont Behavioral Health Care Board, the Salisbury Planning Board, Downtown Salisbury, Inc., Board of Directors, and is currently the Vice President of the Salisbury Tourism and Cultural Development Commission. He has really made his mark in the 12 years of service on City Council. During his tenure, he led the city through the writing of the 2020 Comprehensive Plan, and then followed that with the painstaking task of overhauling the city zoning ordinance. Bill has often been referred to by many as one of the best council members in Salisbury's history. But not only that, Bill Bergen is a really nice guy. Please join me in thanking Bill for dedicating his talent, time, and determination to make Salisbury the wonderful city it is, and I am honored to present him with this award.
Thank you, Jim. And if I may regress just a moment, I meant to say this during the neighborhood award. We have received notification from USA Today that we are our finalist in the National Make a Difference Day for the blockwork program that we did. Now, we may not win, but we have come a long way out of the many thousands of entries that they received. And so we will know in a couple of weeks, whether we won or not, but we're at least a finalist. And so I'm thrilled about that, and I want to thank all of y'all for that. I'd like to call on, that's the last one, Mayor Pro Tem Susan Klutz, that's right, for the Sustainable Salisbury Award. Well, I know, I was getting ahead of myself.
Thank you, and I'd just like to add my personal thank you to everyone here and everyone who has contributed to make this city the beautiful place it is. This is one of the most exciting events that I attend every other year, and congratulations to each and every one of you. And I do agree, Bill Bergen is one of the best city council members I've ever known, and I worked with him personally. I'm very excited to be able to present this award, this next award, because it involves the environment, and it's a relatively new award with the sensitivity to building in the city as we look toward the future. And I think that it's very appropriate that the winner of this award is a building on the campus of Rowan Cabarrus Community College. This college, as you know, has been a treasure for the city for many, many years.
particularly for the last 10 years as our economy's changed and manufacturing has gone away, and so many people here have been so desperate to be retrained and to find something else to do. Sustainability actually means meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So I think that Rowan Cabarrus Community College not only has done this in their vision with this building, but it does it every day in what it does for its mission. As a matter of fact, over the last 5 years, our Cubed Center has developed, and that actually stands for Refocus, Retrain, and Reemploy. But this building, the 400 building, is actually the very first new construction in the last 30 years on the Salisbury campus. It's a 39,000 square foot building, and it's an investment in public service, job training in the community. We have 3 members from representing Rowan Cabarrus here today: Chip Short, who's the chairman of the Board of Trustees; Jeannie Moore, who's vice president of continuing education; and Paula Dibley, director of college relations. So I'm very excited to present this award to Chip Short, chairman of the Board of Trustees.
Thank you, Susan. The next award is Mayor Paul Woodson for the 2012 Mayor's Cup.
I also want to thank everyone here that's made this city so beautiful, and all the work you've done, the great luncheon Lynn and Barbara put on, all the pretty decorations. My wife and I, about 22 years ago, received an award for Vogue Cleaners, and Mayor Klutz's dad, John Ware, gave us that award 22 years ago. Remember that. I want to tell you a quick story before I hand out the award. Now, I want to let you know why I wanted to get here so badly. I'm very hoarse. I've been up for about 30 hours. I left at, I got up at 5 o'clock yesterday morning in Colorado to try to, make sure I got here. I wasn't even worried about it. So the plane didn't make it. I took a 7-hour ride into Denver in a terribly rickety old van. Got there. They said, don't worry, we'll get you into Las Vegas. Couldn't get into Las Vegas. Don't worry, get you into Nashville. About midnight, about 2 in the morning, they finally said, we think we can get you into Baltimore. So thank the Lord, I'm into Baltimore. So they say, all right, you got to catch the 5 o'clock flight. So I can't go to sleep. I got to sit there. I got to make sure I'm on that 5 o'clock flight. So I'm sitting there as hard as I can, and trying to stay awake. So I get there at the 5 o'clock flight, and the guy says, oh, no. The lady gave you the wrong ticket. You're not on this flight. I said, oh, Lord, no, I'm not going to make it today. So I go back to the agent again and everything, and she looked at me and she said, oh, yeah, I remember you. What did I do wrong? I said, we didn't put the right code on it. And she said, where do you want to go anyway? Instead of saying Charlotte, I luckily said Salisbury, North Carolina, because I was so tired. And I knew a flight didn't come in. And she said, oh, my God, I love Salisbury. And she said, I love Salisbury. And I'm thinking, thank you, Lord. I might get home. The ACLU, I didn't say Jesus. Thank you, Lord. So anyway, this lady says, my daughter goes to college down there. It's a great college. And I said, well, ma'am, where does she go? And she says, oh, she goes to Warwick College in Salisbury. I'm thinking, Warwick College? I'm wanting this ticket bad. So I said, it is a great college. I don't know where, it must be Warwick College in Salisbury, Maryland or something. I don't know. I wasn't going to argue with this lady. And she got me on that plane, and I was so thankful. But the big reason I wanted to be here, not only for Bill Bergen, and Bill worked with him for 12 years, a great guy, but the Mayor's Cup today. And this cup is for someone, an individual who's done so much for our community, dedication, commitment for this community. The cup was given in 1986 to the Hurley Foundation, the Norvalls, Jim Dunn, Paul Fisher. This year's recipient has done so much for this community, and I've been so fortunate to work with her for all these years, and that's why I wanted to be here so much. I'd like to personally honor Mayor Susan Klutz for the Mayor's Cup. Mayor Klutz. Thank you. say a few more words. You wanna hold it a minute? I wanted to say a few more words. Like I said, I've worked with this lady for...
Can I just say I'm totally shocked?
Oh, okay. Well, you totally deserve it. Stand here just a second. We came to the council together 14 years ago. We worked great for all these years, and I've been so proud to work with her, and she's transformed so many things in Salisbury and worked so hard for this city. I'll tell you what, I looked at her sheet of all the things she's done and accomplished, and I'll tell you what, I'm glad they did not recount the votes that election night. I'll tell you that. I am thankful for that. But anyway, but Susan, you've done so much for us, and it's been such a pleasure working with you and all these folks, working with Mayor Klutz and all the things she's done and all the things y'all have done here. So she deserves it. Congratulations again, and thank you for everything you've done for this city. Thank you.
And in defense of messing up, when I saw Susan's name, I thought, that's not right, because she doesn't know that she's getting it. But I just had skipped one, excuse me. I'd like to call Councilwoman Maggie Blackwell, who's our liaison from the City Council, to come and make our closing remarks. And while she's coming up here, we decided, the committee made these decorations. Everybody contributed something, both the tree board and the Appearance Commission. And if we couldn't decide how to give them away, but if your birthday, whoever at the table is closest to this date, whether it's before or after, you're welcome to take them home. And we do thank you for coming, and when Maggie finishes, or Councilwoman Blackwell finishes, we will be adjourned.
Thank you, Barbara. I am proud to be in such fine company today. All of these people who have contributed to the improvement of our city, thank you for your work. Wasn't this a wonderful event? An event this meticulously organized doesn't just happen by itself. It takes devoted volunteers. At this time, I'd like to recognize the members of the awards committee who made today happen. Please stand when I call your name. John Cerny, Diana McGraby, Barbara Perry, Deborah Harris, Lynn Raker, Mimi Carlton, Suzanne Casey, Tom Wolpert, Linda Jones, and Mark Martin. Franny Taylor, I'm sorry. I'd also like to recognize the two tireless chairs of the Community Appearance Commission and Tree Board. They are tireless public servants. They may not be elected, they're self-elected, and they have served tirelessly. Barbara Perry for the Community Appearance Commission and Rodney Queen for the Tree Board. Thank you for your thousands of hours of service to our community. I am so proud to serve as the council liaison to the Community Appearance Commission. I asked to be the liaison to that commission, and you'll see why in a moment. You know, there are folks in town who think that this group is all about little old ladies and rose bushes, but nothing could be further from the truth. Chartered in 1984, the group is responsible for many institutions in Salisbury, some of which you may take for granted today. Here are a few items in our town that are the direct result of the Community Appearance Commission's work. Prepare to be amazed. The Tree Board, Hurley Park, the Hurley Park Advisory Committee, the Public Art Committee, and the rotating sculpture show that we have every year. The Neighborhood Leaders Alliance. Our Code Enforcement Department came as the direct result of work done by that Neighborhood Leaders Alliance. The median behind the Angel on West Ennis Street, the median on Link Avenue near the VA hospital, the sidewalk trees on Main Street and Ennis Street. They provide grants to downtown businesses for facade improvements, and so they have been directly involved with almost every renovation in the downtown for almost 30 years. All the benches, planters, and trash cans on Main and Ennis Streets downtown. And in conjunction with the STDCD, the Christmas lights this year that appeared on Gateway Bridge, the Adopt a Street program that we saw earlier with all the many organizations that help clean our streets. And finally, the block work, an amazing project. Last October, 90 volunteers swooped into South Shaver Street to perform an extreme neighborhood makeover. Mark your calendars now. A new block work will happen in a neighborhood near you this year on October 27th. I'd also like to mention that 3 of your council members worked hard at that project. On behalf of the mayor, the Salisbury City Council, the Community Appearance Commission, and the Tree Board, we'd like to thank you for attending and thank each of you for your contributions to our city.